Hi, my name is Stephanie Dolgoff, and I just wrote a book called My Formerly Hot Life, Dispatches from Just the Other Side of Young. When I was young, I was considered hot, and by hot I mean I had beautiful glowing skin. I could go around, put on whatever I wanted to wear, and it looked pretty good, and I had so much hair. I was like the girl with the hair. I had no trouble meeting men if I wanted to. Me and my friends had a pretty good time. Life was one big long music video, and I felt like I was at the center of it. And then one day, I just wasn't. I didn't feel like myself. I had everything that I set out to have. I had a lovely husband, I had 2 little girls, I had a wonderful career, I had friends, I was happy. But something wasn't right. At first, all of this seemed to be about my looks. I started noticing that I had dark circles under my eyes, and my pores were getting bigger, and I had lines I didn't have before, and my upper arms were like, you know, those flags at the car dealership sort of waving in the breeze. And I thought, you know, oh, this is what it is. I'm getting older and I'm losing my looks. But I started to realize that it really wasn't about that. That was only the most obvious sign that something was different. I'm not an old person, but I'm not a young person either. I'm a formerly. At a certain point, women realize that they are in a completely different category of human being. And it can be a little bit alarming because it's not something people talk about. I thought I was the me I had been for the past 30 years, and apparently not. You don't fit into the young, groovy, hip marketing category where they try to sell you fabulous stuff. Now it's Disney cruises and it's Splenda and Swiffer, and I'm buying that stuff. I'm friends with my mother-in-law on Facebook because I have that little to hide that she's not going to be shocked by anything I do anymore, and that's a sure sign that you're a formerly. Once I started thinking of myself as a formerly, I started joking about it with my friends, and it turned out they were all going through the exact same thing. We were all feeling this subtle shift that we were aging out of young. Like a lot of women in their 20s, I put on a pretty good show of having a good time when inside I wasn't having that good a time. I always felt like there was something that everyone else knew about how to have fun and what being young was all about that I was missing. I just wasn't getting it, so I pretended I was getting it, and I laughed just a little too loud. I stayed out just a little too late. I wish I could have told my 25-year-old self, stop worrying, you are fine. Being a formerly is actually so much cooler than anyone ever tells you. Women of this age are the coolest bunch of women. We have a sense of humor about ourselves. We don't care too much about what other people think. We know what we want. We know what is going to make us happy. And we're much more focused on living the way we want to live than doing what we think we should do. When I became a formerly, I started to realize that there is no right answer. There's only what works for you. And because of that, I'm able to do what I want to do, and I'm so much more happy and grounded. My formerly hot life is all about figuring out who you are now that you're no longer who you were.